Okay, so let's set up some sites. As I said, it's the foundation of your beekeeping business. So we jump into sites here in the top menu, and we click. We can click, active sites, whatever. Add new. Well, actually, I'll just roll back. So as you can see, there's a pretty basic dashboard here because Joey at this point in time doesn't have any sites. So this will become much richer once we start adding sites. You'll see Google Maps representing where your sites are and so on. So let's jump in and create a site. As you can see, what it's done now is it's jumped straight to the form, which is creating a new landowner. That's because Joey doesn't have a landowner as yet. So I'm just going to create a, let's call it Winston, a property owner that Winston Smith. Let's not overdo the creativity here. Now, you can see the asterisk here is just on the name, so these are actually non-mandatory fields from here down. So just for speed, I'm not going to worry about filling them in. Winston's a private owner. Again, non-mandatory fields here, but he's in. Now I'm going to fix that too. So we'll make that so it always defaults to the country that you've selected. Little fix there. We'll put that in place shortly. Now we've got a property owner, so now we can add the site. And I like to use a naming convention, but you can come up with your own. But the way I do it for my business is I have the first thing I do is I just start with the nearest jurisdiction, like zip code, postcode, the name of that, and then I put the property owner's name, or if the property itself has a name, for example, that's a ranch, Bill's Ranch or whatever, then I would use that, and then I put just a numbering convention, site 1, keep it simple, SI, depending on how large your organizations you're going to be, how many sites, just give yourself a little bit of runway here, enough zeros to give you plenty of sites. You can give the site a rating. That's just your generic rating, but you'll see as we move through this software that these ratings will become dynamic and kind of like an index. Now, when we scroll down to the maps, we put a lot into this because I want to make it I don't want to get in the way of the beekeeper setting up new sites. It should be really easy. And because Joey's in the US, it's centered around the US, so you don't have to drag this map from somewhere else in the world, Australia, for example. But what we can do is we can do a couple of cool things here. We can, if we're on the site, we're currently sitting on the site, standing on the site, creating this, we can click this go to current location button, super fast. If we're not on the site, I'm in a hotel room, so I'm not, I can use this search window to get close. And what it does then is it zooms in on Kansas City. Then I can click this toggle the full screen mode, and I can say, well, actually this bee site, I don't know, let's call it, it's in Sugar Creek. So let's zoom out. Where was Sugar Creek? I lost it. There it is. Let's say it's in Sugar Creek, and I'm just making this up as we go. And I hope this person that I'm about to zoom in on doesn't mind me pinning a bee site. So we've got some land here, looks like some small acreages, so I'm probably not going to be able to put big numbers of hives here because I'm pretty close to a village, but you've got a gravel pit here, and let's say the person that owns this gravel pit is Winston, and Winston said, you know what, you can put some bees, turn into this track, and you can put them in the back corner there. They're going to be out of the way. So when we go back off, toggle back off full screen mode, and then we hit submit. Voila, we have a site, and as you can see, we've built a nice, really beautiful dashboard centered around the beekeeper. And so at each level in the hierarchy, there's a concept of a status. So each object, so a site, you could say it's an object, has a status. And the status of this is simple at the moment. So there's 0 apiaries on the site, there's 0 hives on the site, it has a Latin long. And we can build this out over time. So like I said, the software is a work in progress. It's evolving rapidly. We can add our contacts here. We can add our contracts and agreements, and we can start to add our flora library here, and we can add tasks and calendaring. So tasks and calendaring, like I said, don't get too hung up on that. The tasks and calendaring functionality is coming shortly in one of the future releases of the beta. Then we have the mapping system, so we can see maps. I can click on directions, and that'll, if I'm doing this on my mobile device, that will load Google Maps and it'll give me directions on how to get to this bee yard. I can see the apiary history here, which is really just about what dates from and when which apiary was on this site, and then I can add photos, so I can choose a file and add a picture. So that's your first site set up. Let's go ahead quickly and have a look at what it looks like now at our main dashboard. So as you can see now, we've got a site, it's pinned, and what the software is designed to do is always center the map to your site. So if I add another site, let's add one in Iowa, for example. Let's just add one. And Winston, okay, just for speed, let's just say Winston has this land as well. So we're going to go Iowa, Winston, and this is site 2. I think it's about this many digits I gave it. Rating. No notes. Now let's just plug in Iowa. That didn't work. Hit the search button. There, I actually hit enter instead of search. You've got to click that search button. Then we'll go back out and we'll have a bit of a look at Iowa. Zoom in. Let's zoom it out so we can have a bit of a look and see where there's some activity going on here. Well, this looks interesting up here. So let's choose something around Cedar Rapids. Let's say there's some flora there that we like. It could be an orchard of some sort or some native flora. Here we go. So Winston's got this property here. That's a beautiful property, and he said that we can put our bees just here in this clearing right there. Click submit. Now we have 2 sites. So let's quickly go back to the dashboard one more time. So now you can see the map is again centered around the 2 sites. So as I add more, it just keeps recentering. Then we've got some things here coming down the line. So we're starting to put more information in this list. So we've got apiaries and hives, 0 at the moment. We've got a quick view button that's evolving. So we've got some summary information about the user, the property owner, and then in this middle section, we're about to start populating that with some summarized data. Then I can get to the dashboard here. The other concept that we've built in for UX is this concept of breadcrumbs. So you can see across here where my mouse is, we're sitting on this Kansas City Winston site, but I can click back here and go back and forward. So that's pretty cool functionality. So that's how to set up some sites. So now let's go ahead and move on to the next step, which is setting up our first apiaries.